Good day everyone. How are we all doing? Today let's talk about how to say sorry, or apologize, to your spouse. Apology is the super glue of life. It can repair just anything. Admitting a wrong and apologizing for it is the quickest way to cool a hot situation. If you've ever had a fight, broken a promise, or hurt your spouse's feelings, learning how to say sorry to your spouse is a must. In fact, knowing how to say sorry to your husband or wife is an essential marriage and life skill. Let's face it, we're human. Today, you will discover some simple steps that will help you apologize to your spouse, and also they will help you become a better version of you. Let's get started. So during our first year of marriage we viewed saying sorry or apologizing to each other differently than we do now. Neither one of us was willing to say sorry, which made things worse, and showed how selfish we were. We were caught in a power struggle waiting for the other to admit they were wrong first. You probably have experienced it too. Because in marriage, you will eventually have a fight, or a heated argument with your spouse, which can make you feel awful. When you are wrong, accept and admit your mistakes. You will become a better person. Work on yourself to become a better spouse, so you don't repeat the same mistakes again. That being said, if you are wondering whether to say sorry or not to your spouse, the answer is yes, just say it. You don't necessarily have to be the one in the wrong to apologize. Sometimes there is no right and wrong, but simply a difference of opinion. Saying sorry was admitting I was the one in the wrong, and I took a hit to my pride while expecting an apology back. When I didn't get one, it made me angry because I felt we should both apologize and move on. Now, saying sorry is part of our marriage, in a different way, and is probably said more frequently with all the added stress of parenthood, being self-employed and health issues. It's not as hard to say anymore because I am looking at just myself and not expecting anything back. I'm sorry I snapped at you, and I'm sorry I should have been more patient, are typically things I apologize for. For me, it's a verbal recognition that I messed up, but I know Marcus doesn't deserve to be spoken to, or treated that way, so I will try better next time. And you know what? He apologizes and says sorry more frequently too. Saying sorry gets easier, once you truly understand what it means to you and your spouse. Isn't it nice to hear that your spouse recognizes that she made a mistake, and that they will try to do better next time? You want to treat your spouse the way you want to be treated, and this is one way to encourage them. We are all imperfect humans, and we will make a mistake here or there. So it's important that when you make mistakes, you own up to them. Grow from your mistakes and make an effort to become a better person and a better spouse. It shouldn't be a battle of pride and power struggles. As a husband or wife, you have to put your pride aside, to become one, selfless, and grow together with your spouse. Here are some steps to saying sorry to your wife or husband. Step 1. Admit you are wrong. This step is the most important one of all. Admit you have a problem. You see, until you accept and admit that you are wrong, your apology will not be sincere, meaningful, and genuine. Because it will come across in your facial expression and attitude. So learn to accept your mistakes. Take responsibility for your actions. Step 2. Admit that you have hurt your spouse's emotions. We all feel hurt when the person we love does something wrong. So keep this thought in mind too. Respect your spouse's feelings. Put yourself in their shoes. I am sorry that I made you feel like I didn't care enough about helping you, and remembering to take out the trash. That was not my intention. I will take it out now. Step 3. Let your spouse know how sorry you are. Your apology must be honest and sincere, not something you just say to please your spouse. In addition, never use the word "but" in your apology, as it conveys the message you aren't genuinely sorry about what you did. Also, be specific in your apology. Don't try to mix it with other apologies. Focus on one issue and one apology at a time. What's more, use I statements when apologizing. For example, I am sorry for, instead of sorry for. Words matter. From our experience, a sincere apology will help build or rebuild trust, improve your communication skills, and strengthen intimacy in your marriage. Step 4. Be humble and ask your spouse to forgive you. The best way to say sorry to your husband or wife is in person. Face to face. Try not to write it, send a text or email. Even if you prefer writing an apology letter to your spouse. If you can't verbalize it, look a little deeper and ask yourself, what is preventing you? Is it because you don't know how to communicate with your spouse without fighting? If so, then learn how to communicate with your spouse without fighting today. Could it also be because you feel ashamed about what you did? Or are you too proud to apologize? Step 5. Forgive yourself. Sometimes, after realizing the severity of the pain you caused your loved one, it may be difficult to forgive yourself. Just as you must forgive your spouse, you have to show yourself that compassion. Forgiving yourself will make you more confident, so you can work on becoming a better spouse. Step 6. Create an action plan. Show your spouse what you are going to do to prevent this mistake from happening again. Come up with a plan of action, or list of things, you will do so this mistake doesn't happen again. Write down the things you could have done better, if you think that would help. For example, in the case of a missed payment for a bill, a great solution after your sincere apology will be to set up reminders in your calendar or phone. Ideally, you want to create your action plan with your husband or wife. If you create the action plan alone, seek your spouse's input and/or feedback. By asking for your spouse's opinion, he/she will see the effort you are making to become better. It also shows you value his or her opinion. Step 7. Practice your action plan. Action speaks louder than words. So put your words into action. Commit to not repeating the same mistake or problem again. Practice. 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 Put in the effort required to make up for your mistakes. Change your behaviors. By becoming a better person, your spouse will see your progress. It also removes doubts and fears you will repeat the same mistakes again. In other words, practicing your action plan is one way to reconnect with your spouse after a fight or argument. Finally, saying sorry is just the first step. When you tell your spouse you are sorry for something, it doesn't make everything okay. It simply means you acknowledge that something isn't right. And you have to follow it with an effort to do better next time. You might repeat the same mistakes again, but ask yourself, why am I hurting myself and my spouse? Why can't I stop doing this mistake? How can my wife or husband help me to stop repeating this same mistakes? Do I need external help? For example, a therapist or counselor. Asking yourself questions like these will help you to become a better spouse and not repeat the same mistakes. You will also be able to seek the help you need to improve yourself. You love your spouse, right? So why not go the extra mile for him/her? Why not do everything you can, so you don't repeat the same mistakes? You now know what to do, so go ahead and do it. Show your spouse you love them through your actions. Remember, admitting a wrong and apologizing for it is the quickest way to cool a hot situation. Enjoy your marriage. Sharing is caring. Thanks for watching. Step